So the other day, my friend asked me why I still collected Transformers. It was in a nice way, not like a you're a loser for still doing this way. Although that would be fair, I would take it on the nose if someone said that. But yeah, I was thinking about it, like why do I still collect Transformers? I have so many, especially because a lot of things tend to repeat now. Like we're getting another version of the Constructicons after getting so many and having so many third-party options. Even some quote-unquote new designs are not that different from old designs. Like how many ways can you make Shockwave and it still be like super exciting to get a one-eyed purple robot with an arm cannon and a hose on him, right? But anyways, I'm still buying them, like this Legacy Tidal Wave here. And it got me wondering, like, how would I explain why I still buy some of them? Now, to be fair, I do not buy a lot of the repeat things anymore, like that Shockwave comment I just made. If you showed me a Transformers 1 Shockwave figure right now, it would have to be like absolutely stellar in some way, like the paint job, or maybe it just scales really well with another figure that's like absolutely stellar. But yeah, I'm just not excited for other versions of characters like Shockwave anymore in my collection. Not counting, of course, Armada Tidal Wave, who's called Shockwave in Japan. But anyways, reasons why I still buy them. I think there are 4 reasons why I still collect Transformers figures. Number 1 is to make YouTube videos like this and content and stuff and interact with the community online. It's like a community thing and I enjoy it. I enjoy reading people's comments on discussions on things that I post and I create, like these videos. I especially really enjoy them on the old stop motion animations I have on my channel, and believe it or not, I still also want to make more of those stop motion animations. I have a lot of footage on the desktop behind me. It just takes me a lot longer now that I'm an adult with a job and a social life, but trust me, I still want to make those and I do have some in progress. Anyways, yeah, number 1 is just like the content/community, the online experience. Number 2 is fidgeting. And there's this book I read called Mind in Motion that basically makes the argument that all of our cognitive processes derive from our ability to process motion. So even when we're thinking abstractly, we're thinking on the basis of motion and kind of 3D experiences. For example, if I tell you to think back to something I said earlier in the video, back is a direction, right? You're imagining moving through the space of the video to get back to something I said. Or if I tell you you have a big ego and you need to see past yourself, again, we're like speaking in direction, speaking in movement. The author of that book is making the argument that our brains, long ago, were really good at like basically navigating physical spaces. And every higher cognitive process that we've evolved since then is built on the basis of that brain that can navigate physical spaces and understand physical space. So that is like a long way of saying that I think everyone is kind of fidgety in some way and everyone craves movement and motion and it's good for you. And if someone is like completely stagnant, they might not be craving it and wanting it, but I would argue that it's very much unambiguously good for them. And I think like transforming a figure, big or small, is a great way to like fidget and get your mind moving and just keep your mind occupied on something. The same way that it's nice to kind of like hold a Rubik's Cube or a Bop It toy or a fidget spinner, right? Like these are made on the basis of us just wanting to move something and manipulate something. I remember during COVID when I was staying at home a lot, not really seeing anyone, I took out all of my old Bionicle parts and started rebuilding a lot of my sets. And I think that really saved my sanity during that time, just being able to like explore a physical space, even if it was just in reality right in front of me. It was like that physical space of building the Bionicle and manipulating the pieces that felt really satisfying to a brain that was like stuck in my apartment all that time. So yeah, number 1 reason is the community and the online community and content. Number 2 is like that fidgety reason. And number 3 is nostalgia. I remember growing up and seeing the endless amount of third-party G1 Transformers and kind of judging like the older boomers who were buying them over and over, like another Devastator. And I was like, why are they doing this? Like, how many times can you buy like a slightly better Devastator? But now that Hasbro is dishing stuff out like this and the third parties are, this is like a design that I grew up with. I so clearly remember playing the PS2 video game for hours on end, exploring the level that was Tidal Wave here on the ship. And yeah, it's really something to see something that you're so nostalgic for in plastic form in a way that you could have only imagined as a kid. It's satisfying. I understand it now. I get it. So yeah, for better or worse, nostalgia is a big reason why I'm still buying some figures like this one that come out that are figures I always wanted. Okay, and number 4 is the art of the engineering. And I think that is very well displayed here by SS86 Optimus Prime. Now, of course, this is like the 100th G1 Optimus Prime figure that has been made, but I mean, if you ask any Transformers fan, it is just significantly more accurate than any other G1 Optimus ever made to how he looked on the screen in that movie. If you're not a Transformers fan, I can explain quickly by showing you the side of his legs here. For example, most G1 Optimus Primes here have the tires there hanging on his legs because if you transform the figure, that's just where they end up. But when the character was drawn on the screen, those tires would disappear. They wouldn't draw them. And this figure has managed to tuck the tires away inside of the legs, not having them be exposed, so that his robot mode looks that much more accurate. That's an art form to be able to look at a character design like that. Think about how it needs to like physically be able to be manipulated with all these like panels opening right here to hide the tires and everything, arms moving, proportions changing, to be able to get it from a accurate looking robot to a fairly accurate looking vehicle. And so yeah, I am a bit cynical about like the 1000th G1 Shockwave, or really like the 1000th G1 looking Optimus Prime coming out. But as long as there's like meaningful, interesting differentiation in the figures, where you can hold it and be like, wow, the engineers here have done something that they've never done before. They've stylized it to look just like the cartoon. They've painted things in an interesting way. They managed to hide the wheels that disappear from the 2D character model the same way that happens in the show. Like, that's interesting to me. It reminds me a little bit of Star Wars these days. I'm like a casual Star Wars fan now, where I don't watch all of the shows and everything, but sometimes I put them on and I'm like, huh, it's interesting how the lightsabers feel like they have weight in this movie, and here they feel like they are like weightless. Something has been like reinterpreted in the franchise that I love. And it's always interesting to see that, even if I don't always agree with it or like it, or it's not my favorite way to interpret that thing. It's just interesting to like experience it, or in the case of a Transformer figure, handle it in person. So yeah, Transformers as a toy line, even if they're kind of making the same characters over and over, which they often are, is always changing. Insert pun, it's always transforming, right? So I think those are the 4 reasons. The content and community online / ability to make stop motion animations, which I still like to do. The fidgety aspect, like it's just entertaining to mess with them. Like honestly, I've like brought some on an airplane sometime where I bought the figure brand new. I'd never transformed it before. And it like kept my mind occupied while I was stuck in a super uncomfortable airplane seat. So yeah, number 2 is the fidgeting. Number 3 would be nostalgia. I spend money because of nostalgia. And number 4 would be that art form of creating the figures. Coming up with clever ways for the plastic and joints to move in a way that achieves something that hasn't been achieved before, or reinterpret something in a new way. There are times where I've thought I was pretty burnt out and that I was not going to buy figures anymore, but because of these 4 reasons, like I keep coming back for more. But I'm sure there's a lot of adult collectors out there watching this video. I'd be curious to know from you why you buy them. Do any of these reasons resonate with you, or are there other reasons I might have missed? I would love to hear them. Anyway, those are my reasons why I still spend money on Transformers figures as an adult. Hope you enjoyed my justification there in this YouTube video, and thanks for watching.